Hey guys, you're watching E111. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a City. Today, I want to start off the episode by mentioning something that I should have mentioned last episode. Every 10 episodes, if you're a new subscriber or maybe you've forgotten or you don't know, every 10 episodes of this series, I like to release a world download of everything that we've done so you guys can go and explore or build upon it or do whatever you like. Last episode was episode 110, which means a world download came out, but I just forgot to mention it in the video. So it actually has everything up to this point, including this half-finished house. Now, Andy's house, half-finished Andy's house. Now, the second thing is I am always willing to admit when I've made a mistake. That's part of Minecraft, that's part of creative building, and part of making something that you like is admitting when something isn't exactly how you want it to be. The first thing I've just noticed is that window is meant to be like that. That's better. And the mistake that I might have made, but it's not a guaranteed mistake yet, is the color choices. A few of you guys, a lot of you guys were actually very concerned about the colors that I have chosen for this house. At the moment, I'm going to stick with the colors that I've chosen, but if at the end I don't like it and I don't like the colors, we can easily change them. That is not a problem. Changing blocks is a 2-second job for us with World Edit. If I don't like it, the first change that I'm going to make is actually swapping out these blocks with the lighter clay, with these ones, the white stained clay. So we've currently got light grey. We'll go to white. That can certainly help the look of it, but I'm not going to change it until it's finished, until I am 100% certain that I don't like it. For the moment, I think we're in a pretty good position. But you guys were concerned, and you guys are usually right when it comes to this kind of thing. So when you guys said it, I was like, ooh, have I made a mistake? Have I done something wrong? So I'm going to be very, very interested to see if at the end of this episode, who was right, you or me. And no doubt it's probably going to be you. We want this to come up here. Don't worry about this little overhang. The slanted roof will cover that up. So I'm just joining up any gaps that I know need to be filled, like there and there. And I think we're ready to put the roof on. That's where we got up to last episode. And we're going to go with the grey roofs. We're going to use the same roofs as what we've used on these buildings. So it's a choice between either the stone brick or the andesite ones. And I think since we've got a lot of andesite around here, I'm going to use stone bricks. So we're going to get the stairs. I might need slabs as well, so I'll grab slabs. And I'm not going to have a quartz edging around it. I'm going to leave it nice and flush or nice and the same colour. We don't have too many of those houses around here. Now, I have said this before, and I will say it again. The way that I do roofs is I always start off with the peaks. For those of you that have been subscribed to me for any amount of time, you might be annoyed or bored of me saying this. But the comment section, whenever I build a house or any building that has a roof like this, is always full of the same question. How do you do your roofs? Everybody always struggles with roofs, it seems. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to continue it on. And it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Always start off with the peaks, because you know exactly that these certain blocks, these particular blocks, have to go here. They have no other choice but to go here. So once you've got all of these ones down and all of the peaks, it's then super simple from there to do the filling. So we have this one going up here. I definitely need that one going up there. And it's likely that I'm going to have that one there, but I'm going to leave that because I'm not 100% sure. And if you're not sure, just don't put it down yet. So we have this one. And this one has a no slab at the top. It's just stairs back to back, like that. And it's a pretty complicated roof, this one. I don't do this kind of roof that often with so many peaks and troughs. Usually it's quite a simple roof, like on most of those. Well, I suppose these ones are a little. That one's quite basic. That one's quite basic. That one's a little bit more complicated, but it's not too often that this happens. So we know that this has to come down here. Okay, so once you've done all the peaks, I then like to go around now, before I forget, and do all of the upside down ones. They're very, very important. Otherwise, the roof just looks really weird. It looks really jaggedy. This is a very old school Minecraft trick that's been around ever since upside down stairs came out, which I still remember when upside down stairs came out and upside down slabs came out. Maybe some of you guys do. I'm sure some of you guys do as well. But I remember the craze. It went, YouTube blew up when stairs could be placed upside down in Minecraft. It allowed for so much more creative-minded people to do crazy stuff. I think upside down slabs came out at the same time, didn't they? But yeah, and then I remember again when it came out on Xbox, when Xbox first got hold of upside down stairs as well. I remember doing a lot of work in the jungle with upside down stairs when it first came out. But anyway, now that we've got all the peaks in, it's just a matter of doing the joining up sections. So we're using the same principle. We're going to just do roof parts that we know 100% have to go in certain places. So I know 100% that these stairs have to go straight across. So I just put these down first. I think the roof goes relatively simple from here. The back of this house has a very simple roof structure. And in places like this, it's super simple because now we just join up the sections that are on the same layer. So this stair and this stair are both on the same layer. So these just join and they wrap round. After you've done one or two houses, this gets easier and easier to do. This next section is going from stairs to slabs. Now I know how this is going to go because I've had enough experience with roofs, but some of you might get a little bit confused about that. The way that we do it is this stair is going to go straight across and join up to that stair over there. So it goes all the way across like this and joins up to that one. And then this slab then joins up into there. You see, and it goes nice and flush with that stair. And then these two layers join up and they loop around like this, around the chimney breast. And this one's tricky to click. Nope. Oh, this one's so hard just to click. There we go. There we go. It's just a slow process. Nope, that turned. That one. That one. And that one. Okay, so that joins all that part up. It looked really complicated at first, but it very, very quickly sorts itself out. And the same over here with that one curving around. This one follows up the layer, etc, etc, etc. So you guys get the gist. I'm going to finish off this roof and I shall be back. Alright, so I've done all of the guaranteed parts now. I thought I'd just come back for this last section because it is one of these sort of joining slabs to stair combinations. So as you can see, that one joins up like that. This one comes across, loops around into that stair. This one goes straight across. This one has to go all the way to the end. It has no other choice. And then we come to the trickiest part of the roof, which is this sort of double lipped section, which shouldn't be that difficult to do. What we're going to do is we're going to actually remove this block, or I could put a stair there. Yeah, we'll put a stair there, I think, instead of removing the block. And then this joins up into there, and then the slabs join up onto there. And there's our completed roof, 100%. I don't like this. I think I'm going to change that to a stair, and that's much better. What if I changed that block? Oops, what did I delete? I should have had that there. This one here should be a full block. There we go, much better. Or one that faces that way. That's better. Okay, so there is our roof now, fully completed. We've just got the balcony roof, or not balcony roofs, the porch roof, and the garage roof to do now. I must admit, at the moment, at this very moment, I am tending to head towards you guys being right about the colours. That's what I'm sort of heading at the minute. I think you guys were right about the colours being slightly wrong. Or not wrong, but, well, yeah, wrong. There's no other way to put it. Wrong is just a word. I'm now struggling to sort of figure out how I want this part of the roof to go. Do I want it to go 21122 or 22? You know, I could do 2211. Yeah, so it's 222, and then just add another purple underneath, like that. I think that's probably the best way to do it. It's a nice sort of smooth look to it. We need a lot of underside of these slabs sort of sorted out, like I don't know, with quartz probably it'll end up being something like that. That block can go. It's got to be up on this level there, and the same up here. Now we do end up with some gaps, as you can see on the edges here. Most of these should be able to be solved relatively easily. We'll just get these down first. Oops, I've missed a block. So we have these ones and these ones. But as you can see, we end up with these weird gaps going on now. Some of these blocks can just be filled in, like that one. And these ones. But then we end up with this sort of weird thing going on now. One of them can be super simply fixed, like that, and like that, and like that. But that leaves us with one block sort of missing, if you like, or half slab sort of missing out of place. That one, that one, and that one. There's two ways that we can do this. We can either just put a slab there and be done with it, or we can end up putting a full block in there to solve it from here, but then we end up with the it being visible at the top here. So the way we can solve that is either by putting slabs directly on top, which looks a little bit weird, or we can then try and use that pattern to our advantage and do something like that, which I think looks a little bit more interesting. Is there a way that I can get even spaces between all of these? I could do it like that, and then have these in here. They sort of look like stacked tiles on top of each other. I think I like that design. It gets rid of the gaps from the side, makes that look perfect. Has a little bit of texture on the top. I sort of really like that. If I could incorporate that into the top of this porch as well, I think that design could work. So, ooh, burp. I'm sorry. That snuck out of me. We'll take away the sandstone ones. They were just our placeholders. And this goes all the way along there. This one goes along. I am going to go underneath there, I think, to there. That one doesn't need to be there. Oh, it might. Yeah, it does, because of the underside of that purple. This one to there. And it's not going to join up perfectly because this is coming down every single slab, but the garage is coming down every two. So we end up with a slightly different sort of angle for it to come down on. So it's going to be interesting from here how we figure this out. That doesn't look too bad at all. If I could continue on this sort of pattern, that would be so beautiful. So we'll continue this up. I'll just do every two instead of every single one. And oops, those. I think that's really cool. I think that's really, really interesting. You can't even tell that it's a different angle, really, because of that. We also need to do the same thing on top of this little window here. So I'm going to start off with these slabs and then put these ones on top and then fill in the three above there. It just gives us a little bit of a roof on that section. All right, I'm pretty happy on how this house is looking. I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of the colour, though. So, let's put the glass in. We're going to use white stained glass, which I think is 160. Replace air with 160. Yeah. So, we'll just put these windows in very, very quickly. Oh, there's one there. And I'm going to use full blocks, I think, on that one. Oh, I've got some gaps. I think I'll do that. It looks nice and flush now from below there, right? White stained glass blocks, not panes, to go on here. Very Simpsons-y. Yeah, I really like that. There's no more windows on the front. There's one window on this side. There's a few windows on the back. There's a few windows here. And here, and then there's one more on this side, two on this side. Okay, do we like the colour? Do we like the colour? I'm going to try making it into the white stained clay and see what we think. So, we're going to select the entire building from here to up here. There's a lot more detail left on it, but we're going to just sort of work from now, I think. And we want to replace 159.8 with 159. Replace 159.8 with 159. And that makes it now the white and blue. Okay, I think I prefer that. If we go back, undo. That's with the dark. Redo. That's with the white. I think I prefer it with the white, but you know what? I still don't like the blue. I thought I was going to like the blue, but I don't think I do. What happens if we change the blue to look like brick, which is 45? 159 replace 159.3 with 45. Does that just look better? I think I think that just looks better. It matches the area a little bit, slightly better. I mean, there's no white clay in these houses yet, but I think it just makes a little bit of a difference. And what about these stone bricks at the bottom? The stone brick foundation does blend in with the roof a little bit. So what if we change that to look like the clay? As in, oh, we could try the darker clay. Was that 159.8? Yeah. What if we do switch 98, which I think is the stone, with 159.8? That makes the stone bricks at the bottom into that darker one that we originally had the whole building as. You know what if we change the brick to that? Change brick. Do you like that better than the bricks? Do we like clay on clay better than bricks? There's clay on clay. There's clay on brick. You know, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so we still don't have any colour around here, unfortunately. I'll have to sort of try and get some colour in here in some other manner. But I like the house now. I'm very pleased with the house. We've got some detail to do, some window sills and stuff like that. So we're going to grab some white slabs to do this. And we're going to go underneath the windows first. I like that little window. That's a cool little window. Underneath this one, we've already got white in this building through the quartz stairs and the snow, or what is it, carpet sort of tops. So the white is already in the building. We're just sort of adding on to it. I think these should be 4 blocks wide on any window that has the black. I can't put them on here because of these, unless I done it like that. Or I could use, if I used stairs on that one. Oops. I'll go with that. I think that's a balance. Okay, around the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On these ones, we just go underneath anywhere there's glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got one window on this side. Okay, so there's all the window sills done. But now I want to do a little bit of detail underneath the roofs. Now, I don't want to go all the way around the edge like I have on this building and on the one next to it, on those two. But I do want to have a little bit of a sort of, almost like a guttering look. So it's just going to go underneath these ones. I can't do them under here because they're on the bottom half of the slab. But I can do them on these ones. I like how it sort of goes slightly in front of the window there. I can do them on that one and that one. And under these ones. I think that just pops out that roof a little bit more, doesn't it? It just adds a little bit more to it. So we want to do the same on the back. I think it's just a straight shot, isn't it, pretty much? These ones, that one. Can't do one on that side. I might take that one away then. Yeah. And underneath here. Alright. I think that's pretty cool for the house itself, for the structure of the house. Now it's time to add some detail. Oh yeah, the chimney. I think I'll go with some cobwebs. I'll do a cobweb chimney for this one. Cobweb. And we're going to put some smoke in there. I'm going to bring the smoke up, and I want to do our normal tactic of just doing a solid smoke trail first that comes out upwards and diagonal angle, like that. And then we're going to start off with a big clump of cobwebs, so I'm going to take out that combination, and then a slightly smaller clump, and then a smaller clump, and then a smaller clump, and then a smaller, oops, that's too small, smaller clump, and then go up to some like individual single ones. And it looks like the smoke's sort of puffing away slightly. Looks really nice. We'll get some slabs again, just to go around the top of the chimney. Like that. Okay, wonderful. Very happy with that. I like how it looks. Should the chimney be the darker clay colour? It would look weird next to that one. No, I'm going to leave it. So, now what I want to do is I want to get some leaves and potentially some vines. So I'm going to need some string to stop the vines from growing too far. And what we're going to do with this is I'm going to make a little bit of a climbing ivy up the side of the building. This is a very blank wall here with nothing on it. So what we're going to do is fill up some of this space. We'll do a nice large base of leaves. I'm going to leave that block, that's deliberately left. And then I'm going to sort of build this up slightly like this. And we're going to get the vines sort of grow up the side of the building. Fork off in a couple of directions. Like so. And then I'm going to do some vines on top of this, and then isolate the vines by using string so they can't grow any further. So this is just to make it look like it's a little bit thinner. This is sort of where it's spreading to. And something like that. And something like that. So now, to stop the vines from growing, I'm going to put string all the way around. Now, I used to only put the string at the bottom, but as it turns out, vines seem to grow sideways sometimes. I never thought that they did until you guys let me know in one episode. You said, you know, vines grow outwards, right? And I was like, no, they don't. And I came back to a house a little while later, and you guys were right. They did actually grow outwards. So I'm going to go around all of the sides that don't have anything on them. Oops. Fine. I think I've got them all right. There. I think so. I don't think there's anywhere that the vines can spread to. So, now on the side of this building, we've got a little bit of character. Something that looks a little bit more interesting than just a blank wall, right? I don't think I want to do it anywhere else in the house. I don't think I even want to do it on this side. It's got the windows on this side. I don't think I want to add any more. We do want to make a little bit of a plot out of this, though. So we're going to add a hedge or a fence. The only fences that we really have in Minecraft is the actual fence blocks. We don't have any panel fence style things. Unless I use something like this, it doesn't really work as well, does it? There's nothing thin that we really have. I really wish that there was. No, we'll go with fence. Wooden fence. And, or I could make my own wall. But I think we'll go with fence here. And I think we'll go down this block. We'll wrap it around this little path. Oops. Like that. We'll leave the driveway clear, obviously. I need to drop down the curb. And we'll have these ones. We could sit the fence. Let's sit the fence on top of a block. Because at the moment, it's sort of hidden behind the curb. A little bit. Oops. I'm deleting everything I don't need to. Upside down. That one. Let's drop this down now. Oops. That one. Take the double yellow lines away in front of the house. There we go. And this can be fine. That's fine like that. I could even raise this up, I think. So it's flush with the... there we go. Flush with the thing. I'm hitting so many wrong buttons today. It's ridiculous. Let's go with the darker clay to sit the fence on top. I think that'll look really nice. It's colour of the that we've got incorporated into the building. I don't want to go wider than, or too much wider than the building itself. I'll go to there. And then they might be able to sort of just barely walk down the side of the house. And then on the back, we're going to do a hedge, so I don't need to go any further than that. So we put the fence above here. Yeah, that looks quite neat. I don't think I've done one of these style fences. Oh, I have, right there. I can't even remember when I last done them. But yeah, we've got a brick one below on that one. This one's got a clay base to it. Okay, so it's nice to have like the matching ones down here. I'm going to take that one away and change that to a stair. Otherwise, the fence joins up to there, and I didn't like how that looked. All right, so we've got that going down there. Down the back side, we want to have a hedge. I'm going to do it 3 blocks tall and 2 blocks deep. 3 blocks tall so you can't see through it from this side of the road, and 2 blocks deep because it makes it look a little bit thicker. If we do it 1 block, you can sort of see through it quite easily. I can see the shops and everything. If you do it 2 blocks, it makes it a lot harder. Yeah, you can barely see through it. You can still see through it, but a lot less. So I prefer them to do them too thick. Plus, doing them too thick allows us to do a little bit of an uneven top, which I always think looks really nice. And I think I'll probably just join it straight up to this. Like that. I see some string bases that I'm going to have to get rid of. And a couple of hedge bits. I'm going to join it up like that and then go to that. And then go full 3 blocks high. So, you can leave it like this if you want the hedge. You can leave it with a flat top and make it look pruned. I usually just leave them very pruned and very straight when I'm doing mansions. If I'm doing like a hedge maze, for example, or if it's, you can imagine that the place would have a caretaker. I would have a straight top on it, like a flat top. But on a normal house, yes, like I have a hedge cutter. When my hedges get like tatty, they get trimmed. We trim them ourselves. We don't have a caretaker to do that. Not that rich. But they always do look a little bit rough around the edges. So I like to add just a block on the top here and just sporadically click about a little bit. Get as random of a pattern as possible. And end up with something. Oh, that's way patternized. There we go. Something like so. I think it looks really neat. It looks really simple. I can get a little back door on here. It's a very small back garden, but I think it would make sense to have a little back door on here. It has to be up a block, though, because we have it up on a foundation here. So we need a stair to come in. The stairs that we've been using, what were they? Sandstone? Sandstone and brick. Might as well do the same on the back. Sandstone, brick. Just makes a nice a backyard. I don't really need to do anything else in here. We could do some flowers, but we don't really have too much room. I'm going to grab just a select few nice ones, mainly sticking with white for the smaller ones and red and pink for the taller ones. We'll have these sort of taller ones in like this, and then have the smaller ones dotted relatively evenly around here. A little bit more sporadic than normal. I like the sort of white look on this house. Okay, I think that's cool. I don't think the back garden needs anything else. It's a very simple back garden. It's a small gardened house. Most of these houses have relatively small gardens. Even these ones look. In fact, some of these need to have an actual back garden actually sort of worked out. I've got the straight bits because of the mountain. I sort of had some trouble, so we need to figure that out at some point as well. There's a lot of stuff that we need to do on the city. In the front garden, though, we do have a space for a tree. I want a tree in here, so we're going to stick down an oak sapling with some bone meal. Whatever grows, I'm going to be happy with, as long as it's not one of those derpy little small tiny trees. That's happy. That's cool. Yep, fine with that. Just one tree, that's all that's needed in the front garden, but we can stripe the lawn with some lime clay. Hiccups. Why do I always get hiccups? I'm going to stripe them in this direction. One there and one there, just because I can. Because if we do them horizontally, there's really not many lines that actually end up going down. If we do horizontally, we get to see them a little bit easier. This one, I could go into the back garden with this, but I think the back garden's only like 2 blocks deep anyway, so you'll only end up with probably 1 line. I'll see, we'll have a look. And this one, might as well do them down the side here. I don't want to go underneath there. This one, this one. Yeah, no, we can stripe the back garden. There's 2 lines, and I think 2 lines is just barely enough to give the impression of a mowed lawn. That one. Yeah, it gets really thin here. I think the effect still stands, so barely. Alright, that one, and this one. Oops. Right at the end, I do a giant mess up. Wonderful. Okay, so we've got the garden, we've got the house, we've got the detail, we've got the smoke. We've got it all functioning, all the windows are in. The house is pretty much done. I think that we could quite easily call this a finished building. On the inside, because the garage is on the ground floor and the rest of the building is on an up floor, we are going to have to sort of sort that out. So let's put in where the garage would be, set stone. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a foundation edge like this around the building. I am going to do these as well. Those blocks couldn't be seen from the outside, but they can be seen from the inside. So it just sort of neatens that up a little bit. And then that would be up here. This would be the wall, obviously, of the garage. And on the inside, we would need a block. I don't know, oak would be fine for this. 1 there to there. Replace air with plank. And there's a couple of blocks that just got missed out. That one to that one. This one. The front door one. Okay, and wonderful. Now, so now the garage is on the like ground level, but then the oak blocks are a block up, but you can't really tell that easily. We will need a stair to get up into there. I'm going to use quartz, I think would look the nicest, and then we would have a nice doorway into the maybe in line with the back door would look the best. Yeah, in line with the back door probably looks the best. And then this wall would be approximately this high or 1 block higher. I don't exactly know where it would be, but yeah, that just sorts that out. Alright, wonderful. I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I don't think there's anything more that's needed to be added to this house. I'm happy with the colours. I think you guys will be happy with the colours and the dark clay and blue. I liked it, but not enough. And I'm always happy to admit when we've made a mistake. And I think we had made a mistake with the colour choices. So, Andy, I hope that you're pleased with your building. I hope that it looks enough like the building that you sent in for you to be pleased with me. I should have, if I've remembered, I should have the house picture up on screen now anyway. And using these colours actually matches close to the original building than the dark clay and blue did anyway. I think this is much more of a better colour match. And I really like the black wool. That was a decision that I was a little bit concerned about, the black wool on these windows, but I think I'm happy with it. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, then hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. This is what it looks like with the shaders on the ivy. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm very happy with that. And we shall see you in the next episode. Bye!